Okay. I I've been crocheting for 10 years. And anyone who's in fiber arts or a fiber hobbyist at all, you understand, the issue with dye lots, buying yarn all for a project at the same time. Those who are newer, it's a painful lesson you're going to learn. I make cute little stuffies, and I sell them. And I am very reliant on consistency of yarn. And when Joann's went out of business, their house brand, which I loved working with, was Big Twist, right? And supposedly Michaels bought the licensing rights to Big Twist, and we all loved Big Twist, for those of us who are fans, because of how easy it is to work with, especially when you're doing amigurumi. And that is because it feels like blanket yarn, a cross between velvet and blanket yarn. It's soft, it's plush, but it doesn't shred. And it's easy to work with, and you can do magic rings, you can do all kinds of stuff with it. And there was consistency when you purchased it from Joann's. Well, now Michaels has changed their color palette. So the yarn itself is still, what we know of as Big Twist, but their color palette is this desaturated, primary color palette. And it's really, it's not my deal, because I make freaking cute little monsters like this. Now, this is like, a mossy thing, it's fine, but I like making brightly colored stuff. Brightly colored stuff. I have so much brightly colored yarn because I make brightly colored stuff. Like this. Like this. Blah. And this is all Big Twist yarn, right? So other retailers are carrying it. And I've been trying to, save some money because everything is going up at the paycheck, and still keep with the consistency and quality, because these are people. If people are going to spend their money on something, I want it to be durable, and I want it to be cute and plush, and I want it to last, as well as it can. And so when they switched the color palette at Michaels and Joann's went out of business, I started searching to see if anyone else was selling Big Twist. Supposedly Hirschner's and Mary Maxim online. Now, they're both craft stores that exist out in the Midwest and the West Coast and up in Canada, and they sell nationwide online, and they had this huge sale. So I'm like, oh great, it's Big Twist Posh, I can get everything I need for like half the price. So I placed this big order, and as soon as I open it up, I'm like, uh-oh. Well, I know there's dye lot differences, so of course these colors are different, but they're still labeled kale. Like they're both labeled kale. And that is a vast difference. But not only that, this is now that chenille yarn that is microfiber, just loosely twisted in between two strings. It falls apart, it shreds, it is impossible to pull through because it just falls apart. If you've ever had any cheap velvet or chenille yarn, you know what I'm talking about. And it's so frustrating. I bought this from Mary Maxim. I bought this from Michaels. Now Michaels doesn't carry this color palette anymore. And they're both labeled Big Twist. They are not the same. And now I have $120 worth of yarn I can't use. I am so frustrated. because Big Twist obviously sold their name you know, but they didn't. No one's taking the steps to keep the consistency. They're just using the prestige of the name. Just heads up for anyone out there, buyer beware. Don't buy a whole lot of yarn at once, because just because it says Big Twist, it's not the same anymore. So buy one. If it's not exactly what you expected it to be because you've been buying Big Twist from Joann's or Michael's, Mary Maxim certainly isn't selling you the same. I don't know if Hirschner's is either.